Hello everyone, my name is Ben Brusco and this is my final speech for public speaking. So let's get started. Let's go over the audience. I have a whole bunch of family members here with me. Wave hi. Hello, hello. Alright. I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing? Make sure.
Oh, watch it. Watch that drink.
Watch the drink.
I see it. Okay. There we go.
What are you drinking, Joyce?
Beet juice, it looks like. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. I know it's going to be a little bit boring at times. It's 10 minutes, so there is some cool stuff that we'll talk about. And I know this is genetic engineering. It is somewhat of a controversial topic. So at the end of this speech, we're going to have a 1 to 2 minute discussion where you guys can ask questions, where you can question my ethics and morals. Huh? Yeah. What? Music I think is off.
No, we did it.
Oh, okay, thank you. So you guys, during that discussion, then you can ask questions and question my ethics and stuff like that. So, let's get started. So, first of all, I want you guys to imagine... Okay. I want you to imagine you're back in the 1980s, okay? There's more seats here, if you guys want to sit down. I want you to imagine you're back in the 1980s, okay? And someone walks up to you and says that computers will soon take over everything. Everything from dating to the stock market to shopping. Computers will control. Billions of people will be connected through sort of a web, an internet. You would own a small glass and metal device that is going to be 100 times more powerful than any supercomputer in the entire world. It would seem crazy, right? Right? People that were born in the 1980s?
Right? Yeah.
Well, it happened. Science fiction became reality. It did. And now we can't even think about living without it, right? Can't go a day without using your cell phones or computers like that. So, we're right now at a similar point in time, just with a different technology. If I were to tell you, alright, so imagine that I'm the person that walked up to you in the 80s. Keeping in mind everything that has happened with computers, would you believe me if I were to say that soon, humans will no longer be dying of genetic disorders, humans will be exponentially more intelligent, humans will have the ability to choose physical characteristics of their unborn children, and humans will be a truly intelligent species? Would you believe me?
No.
Alright, let me prove you wrong. Alright, so I'm here to talk to you today about genes. Not like those type of genes, but G-E-N-E-S. Stuff that make up humans, okay? So, genetic engineering. This is the exact definition from Webster's Dictionary. Genetic engineering is a group of applied techniques of genetics and biotechnology used to cut up and join together genetic material, especially DNA, from one or more species of organisms and to introduce that result into an organism in order to change one or more of its characteristics, therefore altering its genome or genetic makeup. Make sense? Understand? We're all on the same page here?
Yes.
Can you change that? Take out the apostrophe on the it's.
Sorry.
That says it is.
That's the part I added at the end.
No,
Okay, so let me go into further detail.
Take out the apostrophe.
I'll take it off later.
She is, yes.
First of all, we all know what DNA is, right? We've all heard it in science class and everything. So every single living creature in the entire universe, or on this entire world, we don't know about the entire universe, but on this world has 4 things in common: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Okay, those are called the nucleobases that make up DNA. Adenine pairs with guanine, cytosine with thymine. Bringing you back to science class at all? Yeah, just a little. So their function is to serve the organism with a genetic code, similar to zeros and ones with computers. It's binary, but DNA is for us. A little bit more complicated, but the entire code for humans is called the genome. It's the complete set of genes or genetic material present in a cell or organism. It's all the ingredients required to make a human. Does that make sense? So genome, everything used to make a human, okay? So with that being said, I'll move back into genetic engineering. So ultimately, genetic engineering is removing parts of our genome and replacing it with a new set of nucleotides. Just changing some code in humans, making us, just editing us, changing us, okay? That's pretty much what genetic engineering is. So, now a little short history into genetically modified organism. It's only come out in the last like 50 to 60 years, but an enormous breakthrough in GMO technology came in 1973 when these two gentlemen, Herbert Boyer and Stanley Cohen, worked together to engineer the first successful genetically engineered organism. The two scientists developed a method to very specifically cut out a gene from one organism and paste it into another. Using this method, they transferred a gene that encodes antibiotic resistance from one strain of bacteria into another, bestowing antibiotic resistance upon the recipient. So now, that new genetically modified organism is antibiotic resistance. It's pretty cool. Scientists have also created genetically engineered foods. All of the foods we've had tonight, and I didn't tell you guys this, but all of these foods, I purposely bought the GMO'd. Like, none of the foods we had tonight were non-GMO, okay? They were all GMO, okay? And did they taste okay? Mm-hmm. They did, right?
Tasted fantastic.
So, scientists have also created genetically engineered foods. Now, this is a quote from the National Science Academy's comprehensive report on genetically modified organisms. It's supposed to be 10 minutes.
Corn's the worst.
It is. It's supposed to be 10 minutes.
You want me to tell you to talk more slowly?
I'll talk more slowly. Genetically engineered crops are as safe to eat as their non-GE counterparts. They have no adverse environmental impacts, and they have reduced the use of pesticides. So, trust me guys, when I say GMO foods are actually healthier for you, and much, much healthier for the environment, okay? Living here in Florida, we know red tide and everything, it would be great to not have more pesticides in the water, right? No red tide, everything like that. So, when you have a chance, and you're in the grocery store, and you see a non-GMO or any food that doesn't say anything about GMO, get the one that doesn't say anything about GMO. It's helping the farmers that have implemented genetically modified organisms into their crops and everything, and it helps the environment. So, now we're on current. In the 1960s, the first baby was born with 3 parents. Now we're kind of getting into the fun part. 3 parents.
They were born with them or from?
From 3 parents.
All right, take the with out.
This human engineering was an attempt to fix maternal infertility by making babies carry genetic information from 3 humans.
They don't get.
This made the first baby in the world to have 3 parents. This was in China. And actually just today, I think Gary, you mentioned that China has actually banned human genetic engineering because of this procedure. This is the wrong slide, but, oh no, this is the right slide. They banned human genetic engineering research because of this procedure, but the baby survived and the baby is thriving today. And I can explain that later on in the discussion. So, new advancements in HGE. Until recently, genetic engineering has been incredibly expensive. A normal genetic altering procedure would run about $100,000, okay? And it could last up to 2 years just to be finished. Now, by using CRISPR, it's much faster, much cheaper, and a lot more people can do it. CRISPR stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats. So what that is, in DNA, there's segments of DNA that repeat, okay? With CRISPR, we're able to recognize that much easier, utilizing spacer DNA, retract it much easier, and implement it into other organisms. Much easier using CRISPR, much cheaper, and actually this was discovered in the last 20 years, and we have gone many places with it already. So, with CRISPR, now we're getting into the real fun part. When you guys had children, how would you like to have had a menu like this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah? So designer babies, they have gotten a negative connotation over time, but if you think about it, we are already doing it. Anyone heard of selective or artificial breeding? Have you
Yeah.
ate a banana? Have you seen a French bulldog? That's all examples of artificial breeding.
Right.
We're doing it, and over time, selected plants with better yields, corn, for example, plants with particular flower shape or colors, bananas, dogs with particular physiques and temperaments suited to do jobs like herd sheep and collect pheasants. Anything from bananas to French bulldogs have been artificially bred. What's the difference between doing that and doing artificial breeding or genetically modifying babies? There are some ethical concerns in there, and we'll get to that in a little during the discussion. We'll get to that. But with technology being cheaper, and more precise, there's an argument to be made that not using engineering DNA is unethical to the baby. Would you guys agree with that? It's cheaper, it's more easy to use, and if you had a choice, if you knew that your child was going to be born with Down syndrome, would you genetically modify its DNA to be born with Down syndrome or without Down syndrome?
Without.
Without. That's exactly what I'm trying to advocate here for. So that's a large argument made that it is unethical, but we're already doing it. We really are. So genetically modified humans can alter. Oh, that slide I was supposed to click earlier. So these, even though they are really cute, are artificially bred, and bananas and really big cat. So the scary thing about this is that it is irreversible. We can't go back to where we are right now. After we implement some HGE into our civilization, we can't go back to where we are. That is a little scary, but like I said, it's an exponential growth towards great things. Trust me, towards great things. But there might be some drawbacks. There might be. Okay? So, and with HGE, there are some ethical and moral concerns about genetically modifying humans. These concerns are real and they should definitely be accounted for, but there are arguments for each side. One major con for human genetic engineering, one major don't do it for HGE, is that implementing this type of procedure to the human race will create a superior race. Therefore, causing everyone to be HGE, to be more intelligent, smarter, physically attractive, just a better version of a human being. You guys agree with that?
Aryan race.
Hitler, yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Doing it.
Well, China has actually banned this, but yes, Hitler
But they've been
brings
doing
it to, it's a superior race. But with this, my argument to that is, it's so cheap. I can do this. I'm a college student. I have $13 in my bank account right now. I can go to the lab and get an HGE done right now. I really can. I can manipulate DNA. I have no reason to yet, but I can. I can change DNA at any lab right now. It's super cheap. And the second part of that argument is nature's simply a bitch. This can be done, HGE can be done in individual families. If these families want to do it themselves, they're going to. Nothing's going to stop them. And then they will be the ones who are a superior race. So we do kind of have to reach a consensus on this. Either we all do it or we don't do it. Because if some of us do it, there will be a superior race, and then that will be really bad
Good
for
for all or
civilization.
good for none?
Exactly, good for all or good for none. That's exactly right. So, I think we are on, so in conclusion, I'm almost done. This might just be a necessary step in the natural evolution of the human race. Okay? Regardless of your personal take on genetic engineering, it will affect you. Whether you don't agree with the degree of implementation of HGE, or you just want it to cure genetic disorders like cystic fibrosis or Huntington's, or you want to create a truly intelligent species, it's going to affect you, okay? Now, if you were confused about some of the stuff I said, now is the time for the discussion, okay? So I really would actually like to hear your personal thoughts and takes. And now, before we have this, I want to let you guys know that you know me. I go to church every Sunday. I am a hardcore Catholic, and I still am pro this. I believe that God left these little breadcrumbs called DNA and stuff for we to figure out and truly help Him. help him make the human race in an image of himself, okay? I don't believe we're playing God at all. And if you say that I am playing, or I'm trying to play God, I will say, what about all the hospitals who have saved lives, who have taken people who are going to die and give them life? And hospitals are totally normal, so just know that I am Catholic and I support this. So
you were
what
going
are your
back to the
thoughts?
GMO on food,
Yes.
and you believe, repeat what you said about whether it would be organic or GMO.
Organic is something a little different. So GMO is making it to where genetically modified organisms. So
Right.
it ultimately, with GMO, it'll create a higher yield. More corn, more bread, more potatoes,
And you like
more
that?
everything.
Well-
If we don't,
I'm
half a
completely
quarter-
against that because the way that all started, I don't know if you're familiar with Monsanto. Way back when, it started in the cornfields, I think up in in
and
Minnesota.
now all of the corn is HGE.
Yeah, it is
Yep.
Roundup.
Yep.
Like they can spray Roundup.
But if we
on our
didn't do
foods.
that, we're
That's
reaching
disgusting.
almost 8 billion in a population. We are long overdue for a natural...
So you can make a superior race and then poison the
This is...
I
This,
don't think they do that anymore, Regina, because of.
Oh, I haven't heard that they don't.
so because
Oh,
we
yeah.
did that, it was
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
you
human
know.
All the
population. If
research
we
in-
didn't
even
do
in
it,
Nebraska, they
many
don't
people
use
would
that
die of
anymore.
starvation. So we kind of almost had to.
Yeah, like,
Alright, so they
So-
are not
They're
Roundup
not
crops anymore?
dangerous. They're not. No, they're not. We've moved away from the Roundup and stuff like that.
I
We've,
haven't
with
heard that.
CRISPR
Yeah, I
and
did.
everything, we have moved
Yeah.
away.
my,
It is
my-
completely safe.
my concern is, you mentioned about a $13 bank account and you could go and
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
I would be afraid in this world, in this society, it would be for the rich. It would be for the rich to be
Yes.
most intelligent, to have the best of everything, just
And-
like Soylent Green.
And Pam, I completely agree with you. But do you remember the CRISPR method that I talked about?
Yeah.
Makes it to where...
I'm excited for this one.
So, all right, Charlie,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
What are the effects of genetic editing and CRISPR on potentially developing cancer?
With cancer, so like I said, HGE will create a pretty much perfect human, okay?
Right.
And then that perfect human will completely evolve.
Right.
And it will mate or breed with other perfect humans, and over time there will be a truly intelligent species. And I think by that time, or by the time just the perfect human is created, cancer will be obsolete.
Okay, so
No more
it says
cancer.
here, I did a little
Okay.
research.
Using your phone?
Yeah,
Mhm.
this is
Okay.
a little cheating, but on June, this is the Motley Fool. On June 11th, 2018, two separate papers were published in Nature Medicine that raised concerns that CRISPR-Cas9 could elevate the likelihood of cancer cells developing.
There is a possibility. Like I said, it is a new method, but it's much cheaper, and I know when you're doing the medical,
It's much cheaper than what?
it's much cheaper than the old way of oh, I forgot his names. The two scientists that I showed you.
Boyer.
Boyer and I forgot the other one's name,
Oh,
but
forgot the other one's
much cheaper way and much faster way of doing that. They took parts of DNA and put it into other organisms. CRISPR, the DNA pretty much does it for you. So there might be some, and I will have to see the report, see if you can substantiate it, but it is still in its developmental phase, so we'll figure that part out shortly.
So I was listening to Fox News, or
Okay.
actually the 5 at 5. You know what
Okay,
I'm
that's
talking
Fox,
about?
yeah, love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they were talking about Dana, you know, the blonde.
Dana Perino?
Yeah. So she was on there saying that she had been like a year ago, where they were talking about the different things that they could put into babies, you know, or the women while they're pregnant to prevent cancer. Like they already have these, and they said, and she went to a big conference, and China has been doing this
Yeah.
already for years. And that's what the guy, when she was at the big conference, she said the guy at the end of it was like, well, you might, everybody was debating.
Okay.
And that's what the guy said is China's been doing it for years. So.
China's been genetically modifying humans or just
Yes.
making cancer?
Yes.
Humans.
Modifying and also, when the babies preventing cancer before the embryo. is even developed.
Are you sure that was
She was on the 5
genetically, like DNA, altering its DNA?
Yes.
Because it could just be a
That
treatment.
That
Did
was
you see the
implied,
episode?
yes, it was implied that that's how they did it.
Yeah. Did you
was,
see the
okay.
same one I saw?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's China.
Yeah, and the doctor
a
over
while
there
ago-
was very proud of his work.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though it's banned, he was very proud
Was
of
that
it.
what-
Because it is
that
banned
was
and
in
it
the
is
newspaper,
illegal
too.
there.
Yeah.
I know that. I know it's illegal to implement some sort of modifications to a baby's DNA in China, but maybe that is not. I don't know about that. I'll have to watch that too. But
Yeah.
there's the end of
Yes,
our
it does.
discussion.
Yes, it does.
Thank you all for watching. Let's go over
Should
the
do that
audience
to me
one more
all the
time.
time, so.
Oh, here. Do it.
Say hi, everyone. Say hi. More people came.